Hello, my name is David Joel, President of the Hampshire Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to our latest video cast. I'm going to talk to you about four things today. We're going to do a quick update around furloughing. I'm going to update you on the progress on business grants. And then I'm going to spend a few minutes talking to you about what we should be planning for to get us out of the crisis. And then last thing for the session is we're going to signpost the next Chamber of Solutions panel session. So we're going to update you on the latest on furloughing. As you know, the latest from government is that lockdown has been extended for a further 3 weeks. Now this has implications for business. Obviously it's going to be difficult to work whilst you're locked down. So furloughing now start to become more attractive to you, particularly from a cash flow point of view. When you're selecting your candidates for furlough, as well as following all the rules that go around that, make sure you select carefully. Don't cripple your business. Remember, once people are furloughed, they can't work for you. And for those of you that are directors, if you furlough yourselves, then you can't run the business. The furlough portal from HMRC went live on the 20th of April, and HMRC are open 24 hours to cope with the anticipated demand. As a reminder, you can claim up to 80% of the salaries of the people that you furlough, up to a maximum of 2.5K, and it's backdated to March. So that backdated claim will be paid as a lump sum into your bank accounts, business bank accounts, and then on an ongoing monthly basis. Now, as the portal went live, we've become aware of a scam that is going around, particularly small businesses, where there's an organisation offering to handle your furloughing applications for you in return for access to your bank accounts, company numbers, and anything else that can identify your company. If you are contacted by one of those organisations, do not do it. It is a scam. I just want to give you an update on small business grants. The scheme in the county is well underway. East Hants alone has paid out over £17.7 million in grants to around 1,400 businesses. However, a number of local authorities in the region are reporting that around 30% of businesses are still yet to claim. If you've been contacted by the local authorities, you are eligible for the grant. 30% not claiming, that's a lot of money that you're missing out, and cash is king at the moment. Just to remind you, if you're a non-leisure industry business, you can claim 10K. If you're a leisure-related business, it's 25K. So don't miss out. Any of you that are applying for the business interruption loan scheme, one of the criteria for applying for the loan is, have you claimed all your grants? So if you haven't claimed them, you may not be eligible for the loan. So it's really important that you get it claimed. Local authorities have been working really hard on this, so a big thanks to you for moving fast. We really appreciate it. In the intro, I talked about what should we be doing to plan for the future. Almost all of our video broadcasts today have been about the immediate issue of cash. And cash is really important. You'll often hear accountants say cash is king. If you imagine your business as a bit like a human being, in medical terms, getting cash flow into your business, it's like getting blood into your patient. It's like stabilising somebody after a road traffic accident. But it doesn't stop there, of course. You've got to look at then what. So we need to work on the business as opposed to working in it, which is what we've been doing for the last few weeks. This is a perfect opportunity now to think about a strategic review. And that sounds awfully business school type stuff, really. But really, all we mean is what's the plan going forward? And most of us never do a formal strategic review in small businesses. But I'm going to try and give you a view of the steps required to do a strategic review. And it comprises broadly 3 steps. A trigger for a strategic review in a business school sense usually means some unusual event has caused you to think about it. Well, we don't get more unusual than COVID-19, so it's a perfect trigger for a strategic review. And the things we need to think about, first of all, is where are we? So is the reason we set the business up, is the purpose still valid? If it is, great. If it's not, then we might need to think about what our new purpose is. We might have to reinvent what we do. We've got to look at where our industry's sitting. If you're in a leisure industry, the outlook may not be too great for the next few months. If you're in PPE supply, the outlook might be very, very strong. So we need to look at the industry and the environment around it. We also need to look at our own selves, so internally appraise our company. What's our finances look like? What's the working capital look like? Is our furloughing strategy going to stop us coming out of this particular problem? And a quick look at competitors as well. What are our competitors doing at this point in time? Have they reinvented themselves and changed the game? So we need to be looking at that. The reason we do that review is what we're trying to get to are some strategic alternatives. And that sounds all a bit formal and again a bit business schooly. But the truth is, there's only three things you can do. You can do nothing and try and ride it out and hope that the world returns to as it was before COVID-19. We can do better, so we get more efficient, more slick, do the same with less cost. Or, which might be the option that a number of us are facing, we might have to do different. If you're in a training business and used to working with rooms full of people, you may have to go to a virtual world. These things are now becoming options that we have to consider. So once we know roughly what our strategic alternatives are and whether we're in the do nothing, do better or do different, we can evaluate what options we have under those headings. And we think about them first of all, say, are they suitable? Do they fit what we have? Are they feasible? And by that we mean, have we got the funding to do it? Have we got the skills to do it? Have we got the manpower to do it? And the third thing we might consider is it might be suitable and feasible, but are they acceptable? And that comes back to your values in your business. If we're all about looking after our employees and our strategic option that we select is getting rid of employees, whilst it might be suitable or feasible, it may not be acceptable. So you do your evaluation and make your choice. And once you've made your choice, then we can dive into the world of a business plan. Now, a lot of us tend to leap into a business plan prematurely, but without looking at strategic options and making a selection, the business plan is unanchored. So in our business plan, what we want to do is match the strategic option with our organizational structure so we can then allocate resource and responsibilities. So the strategic review, we've got to review where we are, is the purpose still valid, go through a strategic selection activity, look at what our strategic alternatives are, select the ones based on suitability, feasibility and acceptability, and then plan for implementation. So if you want to know more about strategic review processes, contact the Chamber. Your contact is Ben Applin, and they'll put you in contact with people that might be able to help you through that process. I'd like to round off this session with a quick update on the Chamber of Solutions panel activity, which we did on the 14th of April. It went very well. The topic was businesses in distress and how to cope. We had over 100 participants on the panel with questions, sharing experiences, and the poll at the end seemed to show that participants found the whole thing positive and useful. The next session is on the 28th of April. The topic title, still to be confirmed, is going to be around staying connected and supporting remote teams. To register for the event, check out the website for the details. It is via Eventbrite, and you can contact Ben McDonald at the Chamber. So on that note, we're going to finish now this particular session. So good luck and stay safe.